Good morning, all. Vanshika has joined after so many days, huh? Vanshika, where were
Yes,
you?
ma'am, I was
Where
out
were
of
you?
station and even right now.
Huh?
Ma'am, I was out of station and even right now also I am out of station.
But then you can always join your classes, no? Whether it is out of station or in station.
Actually, I was having my family in functions. That's why
Okay,
I couldn't join it.
head the classes. Now the functions are all over.
Ma'am, tomorrow, from tomorrow also they'll start all the functions.
Okay, tomorrow it will get over or what?
Ma'am, tomorrow also there are some functions till 13th.
Till 13th of December you have functions. Okay,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
taking good advantage of online classes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's nice. Okay, tell me where we did we leave the previous class, children?
Ma'am, we have to start from ma'am, we are doing chapter 9.
Chapter 9. Question answers are over of chapter 8, no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ma'am, we have to start from page number 64, Maharashtra.
Fine, fine. That will do. Okay, question answers are over. Have I given you any assignment for that for this particular chapter?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
For civics chapter only, I gave you one project, I believe.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Strange. Chalo, koi nahi. Let us take the attendance and then I'll tell you. Abhiraj, Aditya, Adnan, Akhilesh, Alek, Anukriti, Anushka Gupta, Aryan Gupta, Aryan Patel, Ayush Bhardwaj, Bhavya Dikshit, Daksh.
I'm
Daksh,
present.
Daksh, yesterday you were there in the class.
Yeah, ma'am, after 15 minutes.
Achha. Hiba is not there. Ilma is not there. Jasmeet is not there. Kavya Tripathi is not there. Kumar Parth is there. Yes.
Present, ma'am.
Kushagra Singh, not there. Kushagra Singh Gautam, not there. Shoaib is also not there. Then we have Roma. We have
Yes, ma'am. Present.
we have Sharad, and then
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have Vanshika. Right? Uh, See, I did not receive the PDFs of Anukriti Bedi, the subjective one. Then Krishna Chatwani, is he giving the exams? Has he given the exams?
Ma'am, don't know.
Don't know. Because I did not, neither his objective nor his subjective was there. Then Tanish Patel, already taken TC. Usman Ali is also not coming and attending the classes. But I see he's present in all the class. I don't know why. Those who are joining late, they need to tell their names so that I can mark them present. Okay.
Ma'am, when we will get our result?
Results, I think on 15th you will get the results.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Page number 60.
Ma'am, on page number 64, ma'am, Maharashtra paragraph, we have to start.
Okay. Fine. Anything in this social religious reforms, the previous parts that we have read, not understood?
No, ma'am, everything clear.
Fine, fine. So we will have, can we have the cameras on, class? Can we have the cameras on?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Ah. Good. What is Daksh eating? Breakfast?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Good
you
morning,
can.
ma'am.
Good morning. You can switch off your camera. You have it, and no issues. No issues. Carry on with that.
Okay, ma'am.
Carry on. No problems. Fine. Roma?
Yes, ma'am.
Siddhi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So we will, you switch on your camera if you're not eating anything. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Yes, yes. Okay, you are a little late. Fine. This is the way you should tell me that I have joined the class. Very good. Who? Somebody else also came late, no, in the class right now.
Ma'am, I am, but
No,
I am here.
you should always say good morning so that I know, yes, you have taken entry in the class and I can mark you present. Okay. Fine. Chaliye, Siddhi, we will read Bengal again, right? Maybe these children were not there that time. So Siddhi, do you have your book with you? Okay. Your voice is not, I'm not able to hear you. Your camera is not working? Siddhi?
Ma'am, it's working. Ma'am,
It's
it's working.
Read from Bengal again. Page 64, Bengal.
Raja Rammohn Roy's name is usually listened first among the 19th century reformers concerned with the upliftment of women's status. Historians have often called him the father of modern India and a champion of women's rights. He worked tirelessly to reform the Indian society. He established the Brahmo Samaj to work for social welfare. The Brahmo Samaj campaigned against
Campaign,
sati child marriage,
campaigned against child marriage.
sati child marriage, polygamy, caste distinctions, and untouchability.
Hmm.
His campaign against sati aroused the opposition of the Orthodox Hindus who attacked him bitterly. Nevertheless, he was successful in getting a ban imposed on sati in 1829 under Governor General Lord William Bentinck. His work was carried to bring women into new roles through schools and prayers
Wait,
meeting.
you have missed on one line, Siddhi.
Sorry,
His work
ma'am.
was, हाँ, कोई नहीं, कोई
His
नहीं.
work was carried forward by Keshav Chandra Sen, who tried to bring women into new roles through schools and prayers meetings.
Hmm.
Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar campaigned
Wait. Anything in this still here to be explained or anything that you have not understood? It
No,
is
ma'am, everything
fine.
clear.
So, Roma, now you read about Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar.
Okay, ma'am. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar campaigned the cause of female education. As an inspector of school, he set up as many 35 schools for girls, many of which were run at his own expense. Ishwar Chandra was instrumental in setting up of the first Indian school for girls in Kolkata in 1849. Efforts made by him in the field of female education were remarkable because in those days people were prejudiced against women's education. He also opposed polygamy and child marriage. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar made another significant contribution by leading the campaign to legalize widow remarriage. Despite opposition from different parts of the society, he urged the British to pass a legislation enabling the Hindu widows to remarry. As a result of his efforts, the Widow Remarriage Act was passed in 1856. The marriage of a widow and the first one from the upper caste was celebrated in Kolkata on 7th December 1856 under the supervision of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Vidyasagar persified the best of 19th century reformers and demonstrated an untiring will for positive social action. By the turn of century, Swami Vivekanand, the founder of Ramakrishna Mission in Kolkata, gave further inputs input to the cause of em- eman- what, how do you pronounce this? Emancipation of women by emphasizing on spiritualism.
Wait, Roma, wait. You do one thing. You read from as a result. Acha, theek hai. Tell me one thing. Is everything clear and understood here that Roma has read? Any term that you have not understood, any word that you have not understood, any line that you have not understood?
No, ma'am.
All clear and understood?
Yes, ma'am.
The last line I cannot understand.
Hanji Roma, you were saying something?
Yes, ma'am, the last line from Ramakrishna Mission.
You have not understood that, no?
Yes, ma'am, that line I cannot understand.
दोबारा एक बार पढ़ के बता दो मुझे.
Ma'am, Ramakrishna Mission in Kolkata gave further
Impetus to this cause of emancipation of women by emphasizing on spiritualism. Swami Vivekanand के बारे में you people all know, no? Right? Swami Vivekanand जो हैं, he was a spiritual leader, आप कह लो उनको, बहुत learned थे वो, और उन्होंने रामकृष्ण परमहंसा के डिसाइपल थे वो, तो उन्होंने उनके नाम से एक रामकृष्ण मिशन जो है कलकत्ता में खोला, जो कि विमेन बेसिकली जो था विमेन को जो है एम्पावर करने के लिए था ये. ठीक है. एम्पिटस मतलब क्या होता है? एम्पिटस का लिटिल मीनिंग जो है मेरे ख्याल से ये होता है टू फर्दर फैसिलिटेट देम और एड ऑन करा जो भी फैसिलिटीज विमेन को दी जा रही थी उस टाइम पे बाय ऑल द रिफॉर्मर्स, उसमें उन्होंने एड ऑन करा बाय ओपनिंग बाय एम्फसाइजिंग ऑन स्पिरिचुअलिज्म. उन्होंने कहा कि स्पिरिचुअलिज्म को अगर हम फॉलो करेंगे तो हम अपने आप ही जो है जो रास्ता सही हमें चाहिए उस पे हम जो है कैरी फॉरवर्ड होते जाएंगे.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ.
Okay.
Any other line?
No, ma'am.
ठीक है. देखो एम्पिटस का लिटिल मीनिंग होता है द फोर्स और एनर्जी विद विच अ बॉडी मूव्स, है ना? तो समथिंग दैट मेक्स अ प्रोसेस और एक्टिविटी हैपन और हैपन मोर क्विकली. ठीक, ठीक है.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ जी. चलिए. रोमा कैरी ऑन बेटा. ये आपने पूरा पढ़ लिया है ना रामकृष्ण मिशन वाला?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है बेटा. दिस चैप्टर हैज सेवरल ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस. वो आप बहुत ध्यान से पढ़िएगा, उनको ध्यान रखिएगा कि आपको वो सब भी करने होंगे, क्योंकि इस चैप्टर में से अगर हम पेपर बनाते हैं तो हम बहुत ऑब्जेक्टिव आपको पार्ट देंगे इसमें से. ठीक है. There are several questions that could be framed as objective questions, so you need to have a thorough study of this chapter. Now coming to Maharashtra. चलिए. Daksh, would you like to read? You are over
No,
with your
ma'am.
breakfast? You are over with your breakfast?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
चलो पार्थ आप पढ़ेंगे बेटा.
Okay, ma'am. Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, the Prarthana Samaj founded in 1867 did the same as was done in Bengal by the Brahmo Samaj and received the active support of eminent person like Mahadev Govind
Ranade,
Rane and
Ranade,
Ra-
Mahadev Govind
Ranade
Ranade. हाँ.
and R.G. Vandarkar,
RG Bhandarkar.
R.G. Bhandarkar, Ranade founded the National Social Conference to focus attention on social reforms. At the same time, the Parsi journalist Behramji
Behramji
Malabari captured the
Malabari. Behramji Malabari.
Mala, Behramji Malabari captured the attention of the English reading public with the articles in the Times on the evil of child marriage and the tragedy of forced widowhood for young women. D.K. Carve. What was D.K.?
Which is part? DK
Ma'am, D.K.
Carve offered a practical solution.
Yes, D.K. Karve offered a practical solution with his institution in Pune to educate young widows to become teachers in girls' school. Another important reformers in Maharashtra was Jyotiba Phule. He and his wife started a girls' school at Pune. He also actively campaigned for the remarriage of widows. Ma'am, 1 minute.
कहाँ तक पढ़ा बेटा आपने?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, widows. He was supported by social reformers like Jagannath Shankar
Shankar Seth,
Seth and
Bahudaji,
Baudaji.
Daji,
Another reformers, Vishnu Shastri Pandit,
Shastri
formed
Pandit.
the Widow Remarriage Association in 1850. I'm done.
हाँ जी. Anything in this to be explained?
No,
No, ma'am.
Fine. Okay. So this was all about Bengal. Aryan Patel, can you switch on your camera? Aryan? Connecting. Chalo. Now, this was all about Bengal, where Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who was considered as the father of the modern India, where he took steps to, uplift the conditions of the women in the country. He was supported by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Then Swami Vivekanand, he was also one who always believed in uplifting, empowering the women. Then we come to Maharashtra. Maharashtra, there were several people who participated in the upliftment of the women. Here in Maharashtra, they have given reference of Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. He was one of the Dalits who always wanted that his people should be given education, but because of being untouchables, they had no access to education. So Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, he opened, along with his wife, he opened many schools for the women as well as for the men also, so that at least the basic education could be imparted to them. Right class? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now coming to North India. Vansh, would you like to read?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ पढ़ो बेटा. North India.
India. In North India, Swami Dayanand, the founder of the Arya Samaj, carried the work of women's reform further. He encouraged female education and to further the cause of the Arya Samaj, established Kanya Gurukuls for the education of women. Dayanand Saraswati combined rationalism with a heartfelt appeal to revive the golden age of India, where women were valued and respected, and they occupied positions of high status. Among the Muslims, Khwaja Altaf Hussain Ali and Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah introduced education for girls. The Aligarh movement, led by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, also did much for the education and emancipation of Muslim women.
All clear and understood, class?
Yes, ma'am.
In the next class, I'll share a video with you. We'll see that video. You'll better understand. Okay. Now, South India. Let Kushagra read. Kushagra, are you there? No, he's not there. Okay, Roma, you carry on. South India, you read.
Yes, ma'am. South India. In South India, R. Ramton Ratnam Naidu fought against the Devidas system while
Dev
Ma'am,
Dasi
can anyone
system.
else read?
Dev Dasi system.
Ma'am, what is Devdasi? Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, ask.
Ma'am, what is Devdasi?
बेटा देवदासी सिस्टम एक ऐसा सिस्टम था जहाँ पे पेरेंट्स जो थे जिनके यहाँ पे लड़कियां ज्यादा होती थी वो अपनी लड़कियों को एक लड़की को भगवान जी से उनकी शादी करा देते थे और उनको भगवान की दासी बना देते थे. देवदासी.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
हाँ.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, कुमार. हाँ हाँ पूछो बेटा.
Ma'am, how long, ma'am, they can be, ma'am, मतलब मैम भगवान की मैम दासी मैम कब तक
बेटा
रहती
सारी जिंदगी के लिए, हमेशा के लिए. भाई एक बार जब
So,
शादी हो
ma'am,
जाती है किसी की, तो वो अपने पति
Yes,
के साथ
ma'am.
तो रहती है लड़की, तो उनकी शादी भगवान
No,
जी से
ma'am.
कराती है. हाँ.
No, that though is right, ma'am. But ma'am, if she want to do something, ma'am, अपने लिए, so ma'am,
हाँ.
how she will do? Ma'am, as she was तो मतलब मैम कई सारी चीजों में मैम बंद ही रहती थी, तो मैम फिर अगर मैम उन्हें कुछ करना होता तो मैम कैसे करती?
उनकी अपनी कोई लाइफ ही नहीं होती थी. वो उनकी उनकी जिंदगी भगवान को समर्पित हो जाती थी. तो मतलब जैसे सन्यासी लोग देखे हैं आपने.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, बस उनकी अपनी कोई लाइफ नहीं होती थी. वो भगवान के लिए सारा काम करती थी. उनको परफोर्स करना पड़ता था सारा काम. अपने लिए नहीं सोचती थी वो लोग.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ जी, कैरी ऑन. रोमा वाज रीडिंग.
Ma'am, can someone else read this paragraph?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Can we have Siddhi reading? Siddhi?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ पढ़ दो बेटा.
Yes, ma'am. In South India, R. Vikanta Ratnam Naidu fought against the Devdasi system while, what's the name?
वीरे वी सलिंगनम पंटुलू.
Worked for widow for remarriage. Both tried to increase the opportunities for female education. Veer
Salingam.
Salingam opened his first girls' school in 1874 and in 1878 organized a society for social reform.
Fine. See, in South also, many of the people were there, though the names are not, all the names are not given, but still there were many those who worked for the upliftment of the women. Fine. Now, there were many people who wanted to work for the upliftment of the women. Of course, because keeping in mind the status of the women that was there in the country in the ancient time, they were respected. They were given equal, status to the men. They were the teachers in the gurukuls. They were taking care of the children. But by medieval period in the modern India, all these values were lost. Women had no status, no importance was given to them. So just to convey, just to tell that yes, how the people, how women should be strong. Like I talked about, I told you about Swami Vivekananda. He was a disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Ramakrishna Paramahansa was a strict disciple of Kali. He wanted that all the women should be like Kali only. In the time of adversities, they should, they should be in a position to protect themselves along with their whatever, the family members if they had. So he always wanted that women should always be like Kali, strong and determined, right? Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Now, women reformers. See, other than men reformers, there were several women reformers also who fought for the upliftment of the women, who tried to bring, try to better the situation of the women in the society. Among them, Pandita Ramabai, then Sarojini Naidu. There was one more lady, her name was Sultana. She was a Muslim woman. She dreamt, once she dreamt and she wrote it also. She on her dream she wrote a book also, that I dreamt that I saw women flying the planes, flying aeroplanes. So people laughed at her when she shared her dream with others. They said that how is it possible? Women don't even come out of the houses. How can they even fly the planes? But you see, in the modern times, women are flying planes also. No, they are doing it or not? Class,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
right? Now, then there was Tarabai Shinde. She was also one of the women writers and the women reformers. Pandita Ramabai, Tarabai Shinde, then Rokeya Shekhawat Hussain. Rokeya Shekhawat Hussain, she was also one of the social reformers, women social reformers who worked for the upliftment of the women, right? Jyotiba Phule's wife, Savitri Phule, she was the member of the Satyashodhak Samaj, which was, Satyashodhak Samaj was basically made for the giving a name to the Dalits. So this was made so that they could, uh, they could live in a respectable society, right, class?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who will read about who will read out of all those who are there in the class? Vanshaj Gill is out? No, he's there. Vansh, read beta.
Ma'am,
हाँ,
women reformers.
जी beta, women reformers.
Women reformers. Toward the end of the 19th century, several women reformers had also emerged on the scene. Pandit Ramabai was one such pioneer in the field
Pioneer,
of
pioneer,
women's
beta,
reform.
pioneer, pioneer.
Okay. She was educated in the sacred Sanskrit text by her father and had become a widow at a young age. Her own experience as a widow led her to work for the welfare of widows. Ramabai began her social work with Arya Mahila Samaj in Pune. Later, she established the Sharda Sadan, a school for the Indian widows in Bombay. Ramabai's greatest contribution was her effort to educate the widows, and she left behind her pupils to carry her work forward. Sarojini Naidu was another well-known social reformer. She fought for the women's right and was associated with the All India Women's Conference in 1927. The movement for the liberation of women also got a stimulus from the rise of nationalism in the 20th century. Their participation in the agitation against the partition of Bengal, the Home Rule movement, the Swadeshi movement, and the movement led by the Gandhi like non-cooperation and civil
Disobedience contributed.
yes, ma'am, contributed to their liberation. Many of them became good leaders as well. Women also started realizing the necessity to organize themselves. They started many organizations and institutions of their own. The effort of all these social reforms of the 19th and 20th century stemmed from the fact that they had realized the importance of a progressive society through their knowledge of Western ideas and ancient learning.
Very good. Thank you, beta.
Welcome.
So
ma'am.
this was all about the social reformers, right? See, can anybody read this global connection? This is a very good passage. Anybody in the class? Parth?
Yes, ma'am.
पढ़ दो बेटा ये ग्लोबल कनेक्शन वाला पैराग्राफ.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Global connection. Up to the 19th century, Chinese custom would have it that a woman's virtue could be determined by her lack of knowledge. The Chinese had specific gender role, and learning and education were primarily a men domain. Their role were clear, and it was not customary for male and female to be too close to each other. Therefore, with the advent of science and medicine, women were not comfortable with getting treated by male doctor. This called for the need of female doctor in China. It was in the early 1990s that the first medical college for women was found in China, called the Hacked Medical College for Women by Dr. Mary H. Fulton. First, compare the contrast and the condition and life of women in China and India. Second, find out who the first woman doctor of India is.
Who was the first women doctor of India? Can you find it? Those who are in the meeting, can you find who was the first lady doctor in India?
Ma'am, Anandi Gopal Joshi.
Yes, ma'am. Anandi by Gopal Rao Joshi.
Ma'am, Anandi by Gopal Rao Joshi.
She was the first female doctor of India. Very good. Very good. See, with this, the chapter is all over. In the next class, we'll be doing the question answers. But before we start with the question answers, you are always welcome to ask your doubts. Right? Fine, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And do read the chapters, because you know I always give you questions between the chapter. And as I told you, this is an important chapter. I'll be framing questions between the chapters only. Fine, children?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
We have some
Yes,
time
ma'am.
left. You can ask your doubts if you have any, or any general, query that you have. Batao. See,
No doubt, ma'am.
there is a picture given on page 65. Which social custom is depicted in the picture? Can you tell?
Ma'am, Sati system.
Who played an important role in eradicating this practice, and which law brought an end to it? Who played an important role in eradicating this practice?
Ma'am, Raja Ram Mohan Roy.
Raja Ram Mohan
Yes,
Roy.
ma'am, Raja Ram Mohan Roy.
Which law came into being?
Ma'am, Brahmo Samaj.
नहीं एक्ट कौन सा आया था?
Ma'am, act.
कौन सा एक्ट था बताओ?
Ma'am, the act.
सती एबॉलिशन एक्ट. वेरी सिंपल. सती एबॉलिशन एक्ट होगा वो. ठीक है. क्लास. हाँ, सती एबॉलिशन एक्ट. ठीक है. चलिए. फाइन. Anything else that you need to know?
No, ma'am,
No
everything.
Everything clear, no? Do read between the chapters. One class I will take of rapid fire where I'll be asking you these short questions like we did in the previous chapter, no? During the examinations, right?
Okay, ma'am.
And I hope you all are doing these question answers in the notebook also.